As we get started here today, the thing that I'm going to ask you to do is pretend like you don't know anything.
Yes.
And what I mean is this, is don't come into here with a space of learning like I know that already. Because there are some people that think they know something, but what I can promise you is unless you can teach it, you don't know it.
Right.
And getting started, the one thing that I do want to have a quick conversation with you about is the learning process that a lot of people go through. This is something that I got from Tony Robbins. As you guys know, I was a part of, in 2007, I did his Platinum Partnership Program. And one of the things he talks about is really the path to mastery, because isn't that what we're all after, is becoming a professional. The one type of person he classifies as a dabbler. This is somebody who gets started, and in the beginning of everything, when you're learning it, there's an excitement and a learning curve that's very fast, because everything is new. You guys know what I'm talking about? Where everything is new. When you come here for the hotel is new. Where the room is new, because you've never been here before. When you walk in, the presentation is new. The products are new. The compensation's new. The video is new. The back office is new. Everything is new. The application's new. The first wow party is new. Everything is new. So the learning curve in the beginning of anything is explosive. Let's say if you were taking up sports, for instance, and you wanted to take up tennis. You've never played tennis. Everything is new. If you've never been in a tennis shop, that is new. Buying a racket is new. How it holds it, how you hit it, how the court feels, where the lines are, the learning, how the game works, what are the points, why is it called love? I don't understand, you know, right? Okay, why 15, 30, 40, who did that math? What, you know, like everything is new. So the learning curve is explosive in the beginning of anything when you start. And then what happens is that it gets to a point where everybody hits this thing, you guys know what I'm talking about? This thing right here, called a plateau, where they start leveling out because their learning experience doesn't keep increasing at that same rate at a point. Now when people get here, this is where people react differently. There's what Tony calls the dabbler. The dabbler, what do? They just quit. Like, it's too hard. You know, maybe it's not for me. Or I'm not getting any better. Or I'm not getting any good results anymore. So what they do is this. They quit. They start something new. These are the people that jump from one networking company to one network company to one network company. And in the beginning, it's super exciting. How many of you guys know these people? Some of you guys have met them. They start in a company and they're fired up. Why? Because everything is... The leadership seems 100 times better here always than it was there, because they're always focused on what's new and what's different and what's unique and what's this, and then the explosion, and the products are new and the comp is new and the presentation is new and everything is new, so it's exciting. They go through this curve. It's like tennis. They get frustrated and they give up and they're like, oh, that's racquetball. That's where it's at, you know? It's new, it's exciting, there's walls. You can run into your opponent. It's more dangerous, it's more thrilling. And then all of a sudden they hit that same plateau on racquetball and they're like, you know what, I'm gonna take up golf. And then they go like this. Learn a lot of four-letter words in that game. Okay?
Yeah.
So that's the dabbler, that's one person. I want you to be careful if any of you are in that state. When you hit your plateau, how do you respond? Today is really about how to move through those. Because there's a different type of person, the second type of person called the stressor. Some of you guys will probably relate to this. You go up, you hit this plateau. Everybody hits a plateau in everything at some point. The learning curve doesn't accelerate that same speed always. So you hit this plateau. But what does the stressor do? Does the stressor quit? No. The stressor does what? Stresses. Some of you guys know what I'm talking about. They get here and they're like, oh, that's it, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm going to get to the top. Superstar. Oh, I did it. 300 TPV. And then they get to the next plateau, but do they quit? No. They freak out. I'm going to get it. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to quit on my family. I'm going to... bronze. Bronze. And then by the time they get to Royale, they don't even want it. Business is overwhelming. It's too stressful. Even if you make it to the top, it's no good there. And then you can't recruit anybody because they saw what you took to get to 3 ranks, and they're like, I don't want to do that. I don't. Like, how's the business going? It's amazing. It's awesome. And they see how stressed you are about it.
Oh.
And they're like, well, if it's gonna take that much, I don't think I'm gonna stay 9 to 5. Then there's the master. The master. They too hit their plateau. But the master says, plateau, to be expected. They don't freak out. They don't quit and try to find something else real fast. They go, you know what? There's probably people that have been at this very similar plateau as me. and they have found a way to go from this plateau to a higher plateau. So let me see if I can find some people. So the first thing that the master does is finds a mentor. They find a mentor. Find somebody that has gone through this plateau that you've experienced and has found a way to move through it and continue going where? Up. And then the second thing, spaced repetition. Anything worth doing is worth doing poorly at first. Because practice makes permanent. The easiest way that I can give you this experience and understanding it is golf. I've never golfed before in my life, but I went to go golf with a buddy of mine who's a pro golfer. I'm somewhat talented when it comes to hand-eye coordination through sports and dance, and they usually came pretty easy to me. So I'm thinking, golf, no problem, right? So I get there, and I smack my first ball. And I'm looking for it, and I was like, do you see it? I did it. I hit it good, right? And then I can't find it. He's like, do you know where it is? And he's like, yeah, it's over there. And he points over to my left, like across the freeway. I was like, no way, it's not over there. So I hit it again. Bam, hook shot. Bam, hook shot. Bam, hook shot. And I keep hitting it. Now let me ask you a question. If I keep practicing that swing, do I get perfect? No. I get permanent. Perfect is not over there. Perfect is where? There.
Fairway.
It's the fairway. Straight down the fairway is where I'm trying to hit the thing would be perfect. I'm not getting perfect. I'm practicing it wrong. Therefore, I get permanently wrong results. Many people in our business are doing things permanently wrong because they practice them forever. Today, it's time for us to break some of those habits that you have, to move through those. So the spaced repetition. Now, here's the challenge. When you're used to doing something one way for such a long period of time and you have to do it differently, let's take tennis. Let's say I wanted to find a mentor. Let's say I went to like Andre Agassi and I say, you know what, I want to learn to play tennis. How many of you guys agree? He's been through some plateaus. He's probably mastered that craft. And I go to him and I was like, hey, could you do me a favor? Just watch what I'm doing, see if I'm doing anything wrong, see what's going on. He says, you know what, Jess? Here's the thing. Instead of holding the racket like this, hold the racket like this. Move your thumb over. Now, what's interesting is the first time I move my thumb over, if I'm used to holding it one way and I change my grip, does it feel good usually? No, it feels uncomfortable because it's new. This is like some of you in the room that are used to doing parties and sit-downs and blueprints a specific way, and we ask you to do it a little bit different. It might feel a little uncomfortable in the beginning. Okay? Now, typically, once I change my grip, does my growth immediately go up usually? It usually will start to go where? It'll start to go back down, and this is where people freak out. They're like, no, I got to go back. I got to go back to old grip. You know, this is like when we're telling people slow down to speed up. That's what we mean by some of those things. Sometimes there's things that you need to slow down to speed up. There's things you need to tweak and readjust, and sometimes you might see a small drop where instead of going out there and trying to just flash money and cars and stuff to get people hooked onto the business, actually leading and understanding the products and how to use daily consumption and skincare might have a small drop if somebody's making that shift. Then all of a sudden, if you've ever been playing tennis, this is what happened to me. I changed up my grip, and all of a sudden it's like, boom, because I couldn't hit a backhand. And one of my friends was like, here, hold it like this. And I had to change my grip. And it was like, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. And then all of a sudden it's like, boom. And one goes over and you're like, you were right. And then the mentor, the master goes, yes, I was. Okay? Because I've been at that plateau before. And I remember what it took for me to go through it. Once you have this explosive growth curve, guess what happens again eventually? Plateau. Now here's what I'm going to warn you. Sometimes the mentors that got you through your first plateau won't be qualified to get you through your second, or your third, or your fourth. Some of you had mentors that got you through new to Royale, but then your mentor never got to the next place that you're looking to get to, so they can't help mentor you through that rank. Find a mentor and understand this spaced repetition. And spaced repetition is the mother of all skill. It's what leads us into our conversation here beautifully. Look at this transition.